In this episode of the AMIP Podcast, host Will Healy III talks with Neil and James about finding a way into machining careers at Monti Inc., the skill of adaptability, and the opportunities for advancement. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Neil. I am a CNC machinist. I'm a setup machinist specifically.
Mhm.
So I do some programming on the floor of the CNC machines, kind of get them ready for operators. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in the role there. I started here a little over 5 years ago. I came from an office background. I had a biology degree, was doing some legal research for a law firm about medical issues, but I decided I wanted to do something with my hands, and this was presented to me. One of my friends was a welder, and
Yeah.
he was like, "There's a couple things you look at," and this is one of the things that he suggested. So I kind of got the taste for it. Looking into it, I went to a workforce development program through Cincinnati State,
Yeah.
and got placed at Monti, and been here ever since.
Awesome. How long ago was that?
June of 2020 was my start date.
Okay.
So
Cool. So you're rolling up on 5 years.
that's right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then James, tell us who you are. Say your name and,
I'm
and how you
James.
get your.
I'm a welder fabricator here at Monti. Been here a little under 3 years, and my average day to day is setting up our weld robots and pushing jobs to the guys that we have on the floor, trying to get them lined up, kept fed, and just busting out all the good work that we can. It's fabrication side of things can get a little hot down there, if you
Yes.
can imagine. So we do our best to keep the right foot forward and crank out good parts. Got into the field, it was 2017, 2018. I briefly was telling you, but I spent some time out at college and trying to figure my major out, figure out what was best for myself at the time, and I didn't know what was best for myself at the time at 18 years old. So decided to come back home and give it a little break. School wasn't just necessarily for me, so I found myself pushing into the manufacturing side of things, got into a couple shop jobs, saw that I liked the processes that they were holding and wanted to see what I could do more for myself in the sense, which is then how I picked up on welding. Buddy of mine had me come out to his shop and showed me how he welded some things and let me stick metal together.
Cool.
So from there, I kind of took off, went down to Cincinnati State, went and tried to get all my certifications that I could, and pushed through the courses and found myself at a shop called Upside Innovations
Yeah.
up
No,
in
upside. Yeah.
Westchester, and was there for about 5 years and came here shortly after.
Okay. Cool. That's an awesome story. I think you both kind of have this like reinventing yourselves thing that I think appeals to a lot of folks. Like a lot of people are trying to figure out who they are and what they're doing, right? And
It's important to keep your options open.
yep.
Really, I mean that what we think's best for us now might not be in 5 years, or might not be what we want to do. And
That's fair. So you were working in manufacturing before, and you weren't working in
That's right.
manufacturing before. So I'll ask you this question. I'm coming back to you though. So Neil, right?
Mhm.
Neil, why manufacturing? Most folks kind of have a negative connotation to manufacturing. So why was manufacturing interesting to you?
It was appealing to me, first of all, because I had struggled with the theoretical part of being in an office and the lack of being able to at the end of the day kind of take a step back and look at what you've done.
Hmm.
Like creating a legal brief is nice, but it's not a tangible object.
No.
You can't say I made this thing, not really the same way. And that was really appealing to me. Um, Coming from 8 years of office work, just the kind of show us what you can do part of actually creating things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got the sense that it would be a challenge, and I wanted that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there's something new every day, right, on the
Absolutely,
manufacturing floor, and you
absolutely.
get to really solve it with your hands and problem solve with your brain. And
It's actually part of the culture that I really like here. Is it's a very much like, okay, there's a problem. What do you think the solution is? Let's have you take a bite at it before
yeah,
we.
I love it. You see that too?
yeah,
Yeah.
so kind of to piggyback off what he was saying, I had my fair share of site while I was in college. I mean, I was in college for student teaching,
Okay.
education, and I got put into the position where I was student teaching, and I realized it wasn't for me at that point. So when I did decide to step back, come home, and really dabble into the manufacturing side of things, it put into perspective for me real fast. Oh, we're building things. Oh, we're able to see our final outcome. See what we've done for the day, and choose whether or not we're proud of it. So as long as you can feel like you've done as much as you possibly could at each and every day, at the end of the day, that's kind of why I do it.
Yeah, I love it. I think you're both working with automation too,
That's
right?
right.
So when you first started here, were you working with automation? Was that automation right out of the gate, or is that something you matured into? I guess I'll start with you, James.
I uh I had a little bit of experience with automation back at Upside Innovation. So while I was there, they introduced their first cobot UR robot. It was Spectus supplied, I believe, but
Cool.
definitely was different. Complete, change of pace for myself. Something more interesting that I wanted to kind of get into and background, set myself in. But for what it was doing and the processes that we were holding, it wasn't really something that I found myself loving to do. I
Okay.
didn't get the pride out of each and every day accomplishments. So coming back here, giving the opportunity to not only play with the UR robot that we have, but the industrial size robots that we have,
Yeah.
it kind of picked me back up, reignited that spark, and they've given me the opportunity to, study with Yakuzawa and Monoman and to really understand these robots and get them tweaked, working, keep them running.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So they made an investment in educating you after
Yeah.
you came here
Yeah.
because you had an interest in it.
It's
Yeah.
something they do I mean, they would do for anybody out on the floor if they were interested. So,
Yeah. I guess you weren't working with robots in a lawyer's office.
No, no, that's right. Some people who had that vibe, but no, not any actual robots. We had just one in the department when I started, and
Yeah.
I saw it, and I was like, I need to know what's going on with that. And I was really sure very annoying to our boss at the time, our department, our supervisor at the time, because they were several guys with more seniority than me who were going to get a bite at the apple before I did.
Hmm.
But I bided my time, and the opportunity arose, and I guess I glommed onto it pretty well because I've been doing that pretty consistently since I think the middle of 2021, and we've made a much bigger investment in the milling department. So I think we had one of a different manufacturer then, and now we have something like 9 URs between the two milling departments. So I've grown with the department.
Yeah,
It's been nice.
that's neat as they
something's working.
invest. Yeah, that's cool. So, when you look at like the people on the teams around you, I mean, you're in one department in the welding in the weld shop, and you're in the milling department. When you look at the teams around you, you see the most successful people in the group. What skills do those folks have, soft or hard or technical or whatever? What skills do those folks have that you think really have helped them be successful in the organization here at Monty? If you want to go first.
Sure. I think to be a good machinist, I don't see how you could do it without good attention to detail and good mental flexibility. You need to be able to find another way around. We broke the last tool that we had that was that size. What are you going to do now?
Yeah,
That
you
kind of
still have to
stuff.
make the parts.
Yeah, we're still, this part is the hottest job in the shop. You got to make it. What are you going to do now? I
Mhm.
think that's really important. And like anything else, it's good. It's important to be able to relate previous similar experiences to what you're doing right now, and kind of if you can't learn from everyone else's mistakes, at least learn from your own.
Yeah.
Be able to kind of build a knowledge base.
That is adamantly the truth. I mean, you gotta be willing to learn first of all.
Yeah.
I will say in our department, some of the guys, I didn't know what I know now, but these guys have, helped me, learn and understand their ways and their processes, and I guess more or less kind of piggybacking just a little bit. But what are you gonna do when, you don't have the clamp that's going to fit that part, that's going to, hold it together while you're trying to weld it, or whatever it may be. Workarounds, figuring out the workarounds, having the right ideas to try something that may work. If it doesn't work, I mean, luckily in our department, make the corrections, cut it apart, refix it or stretch it out, whatever you got to do. And that's kind of what holds us all together as one as we piggyback off of each other to try to come up with a faster but more sure, clear way to get it done the fastest way possible.
It's a pretty common conversation in our department. It's like, do you think it would work if we did it this way? Make it a little quicker.
That's-
I love it because I hear like everyone's kind of working together, open to each other's ideas and what's going on. I think, solving problems. I heard, that the culture to make a mistake is one that you would never say out loud, but I hear you saying like
It's okay.
no one's
That's,
getting fired if they make a mistake as long as you learn from the mistake and you learn from others' mistakes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
entirely.
Yeah.
As they happen, far. I mean, we try to keep them far and few in between, but for what it's worth, when it does happen, you do your best to get it corrected and fixed as soon as you can, and
This is at
we'll
the
move
end.
on.
This is at the end of the day. It's a craft.
Hmm.
There's human judgment in every single step, and as
Yep.
long as you can kind of mostly keep your decisions on the straight and narrow, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I love it. So what do you think the leaders are doing here? What kind of skills or traits do the leaders have that are enabling like that kind of culture here? What do you think's going on with the leader?
I think a good part of it's the communication just amongst the guys on the floor with them being able to know your boss, know how they're going to react with situations, and just taking it day by day, really. Like, some days are better than others. We all, come in here with the same attitude,
Yep.
do the best that we possibly can, and make everything work. But as far as I guess expectation wise from them goes, I mean, they expect you to know what you're doing, trust that they know you know what you're doing, and I mean, I just let you take care of it from there. As long as they, you have their back end, they have your back end. However you will.
Yeah.
Things will, like you said, be okay. At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. One
Yeah.
part.
So people are supporting each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Being confident in the people you have.
What's your favorite part of working at Monty?
What do you feel? There's, I mean, a few.
I like making stuff. It's just
That's
like
cool.
The
I like
collaboration.
creating.
I mean, truthfully, for me,
Yeah,
they open-ended conversations that, for just parts in general.
Mhm.
Get to talk to, come up with, different ideas with the guys on the floors to really get the part done, sent out in the best style that we can. So
Cool. So, as you're looking at what's going on now and where it's going, what do you want to do next? You want to learn a new technology? You want to move to another position? What are you shooting for now? And does Monty support what you're trying to do next?
so I guess I could go first. I am currently training to move to a camp programming role within the engineering department. So I'd be, instead of writing programs on the floor, we'd be working with the more complicated programs up here
Okay.
with software. So
Got it. So they've sent you to a training program, or they're doing internal training with you?
I'm in night school through Cincinnati State,
Yeah, cool.
and I'm also training with one of the engineers up here.
Okay. And Monty's supporting that.
Mhm.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. Yeah, I've always heard stories, and I'm going to ask you in a second, but I've always heard stories about Monty really, if you show interest in something, Monty really is willing to invest and back that interest.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
entirely.
It's definitely been my experience. Yeah.
I share same experience. I am now the lead weld of our department, trying to guide the guys, help, like I was telling you, on a day-to-day basis, get them situated, lined up, fed, work, and they have given me all good to go and clear room to really try to grow and take care of that position that best way that I can, but to their needs.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
very
That's
willing to back, and I did mention also that they sent me to South Scotland
yeah.
school to learn the robots. I mean, that alone shows the will. So,
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. They're sending you to that to build your knowledge, willing to invest. Yeah. Yeah. So, in your preparation for our conversation, a lot of times I don't ask the question that you thought I should have asked. So, I always like to end with like, what have I not asked you about that you think I should really know about Monty or about the organization and the culture here? What have I not asked about that I should know? What do they do to celebrate employees here?
I mean, we take advantage of all the small wins that we can. So I know they do this thing, which I feel is great. I've not seen most of any other companies really that I've worked for do this, but they'll on the floor we call them attaboys.
Okay.
So let it stand for what it is. But as if you show signs of the core beliefs that we hold here, we go over within our quality statement and uh, show the signs within that statement itself. They'll put you into a raffle, and you have the opportunity to win FC tickets, Bengals tickets, or little Uline products, or it's pretty cool stuff.
It's a software, but it's spinning the wheel, and I want to get on that. I
It's,
haven't been
it's
on it yet.
Yeah.
so I mean
Yeah.
keeps things interesting. It allows
Yep.
us to like kind of see who's being highlighted, broadcast for that month, if you will. Pretty different. So
Yeah,
I
that's
like
pretty
it.
cool. I'm going to ask Molly to spin the FC tickets wheel next time I'm here. That's awesome.
No,
Yeah,
we also
definitely
have
different.
cookouts. We're going to Kings Island. They celebrate us pretty well.
Yeah, there's that wall downstairs with everybody's name on it.
Yeah.
When do you get your plaque on the wall down there?
15 years.
15 years. Okay. There's so many down there. It's
Mhm.
like incredible.
There's a lot of old hands here.
Yeah.
We have a lot of knowledge.
So at a lot of shops, the older guys aren't really willing to work with the younger guys. How's the relationship between the older generation and the younger generation? How's that work here?
With the number of questions that I asked, and I mean constantly. There were probably guys who were ready to punt me, but no, everyone's been super helpful. Everyone's been very patient with me as I've come up, and it's really humbling to get on the other side of that divide and be like, oh, you don't have any right to get frustrated with people who are asking you questions because
Yeah.
you remember how many you asked a day.
Yeah.
To a
No,
T.
yeah.
That's
good.
I
That's good.
mean,
we have a
for
great
the fabrication, I mean, since day one, I mean, I've raised my hand, question what I can, and get real firm understanding of what I'm doing and what I'm working with at the time, just so I can make sure that I don't need to ask again. So
Awesome.
and that never had much an issue with any of the gentlemen here.
I love
Ladies.
I love that willingness to teach others and kind of that communication thing. I think you both kind of have hinted at that multiple times. So it seems like it permeates even cross generationally, and that's really hard to do. So that's impressive.
You're strong as your weakest link.
Good. So that's really all the questions I had for you guys. I really appreciate you both talking with us today.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good. Yeah. Thanks so much. Really appreciate
No
it.
problem at all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us at Monti. To find out more about manufacturing careers, visit makeitcincy.org. Our interviewees today were Neil and James. Our interviewer is Will Healy III. Our theme song is Manufactured by Roman Rumiantsev, licensed under the Pixabay license. Intro, outro, and editing are by me, Ken Poland. Thank you for listening.